Hello gardeners, this is Nishat and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to reveal 2 hidden tricks and mechanisms that promote the flowers of a Jasminum sambac or Arabian Jasmine or Mogra Jasmine plant. Professional plant growers always follow these 2 tricks to increase the flowers production and keep the plant healthy. We always see that the plants in the nursery look so healthy and full with flower buds, but after owning them and taking them home, they do not perform as good as nursery. It is because we don't know the actual mechanism which actually improve the flower production. Today, I am going to share those 2 tricks and also will share how that works. Last year, I also did an experiment with 2 of my Mogra plant and I got lots of information which I will also share, so try to watch the entire video. Arabian Jasmine or Mogra Jasmine plant is a popular summer flowering shrub that produces beautiful, delicious, intense fragrant containing white flowers. They are zone 8 through 11 and a perennial plant, and they produce flowers from spring through summer, even without amending this plant. But there is some specific tricks, some specific managements that influence the plant to promote flower production. There are mainly 2 major and effective tricks that I am going to share are definitely going to boost the flowers production and will improve the plant growth. Now, before jumping to the tricks, first of all make sure that your plant has grown in a well-draining soil medium. Your plant gets 5 to 6 hours of direct sunlight of a day. You water your plant only when 2 inches soil surface start to dry because jasmine plant like well-draining moderately moist soil. And also make sure that you subscribe my channel with the bell for the regular updates. Now, trick number 1. If your plant do not pushing any new growth or flowers, then you need to pressurize your plant, and that you can do by trimming. First of all, trim the branches which are looking stunned, tired and are not pushing any growth. Trim them about 1 inch back like this. By doing this, the node areas will be pressurized and they will send a signal to the growth hormones, and that will stimulate the new growth. This trick is also applicable if your plant do not producing flower even after applying fertilizer. Next trick and most important is that use a balanced fertilizer. Use proper fertilizer which actually gonna boost the flower production. You cannot use any kind of fertilizer. Use a fertilizer has mixture of 30 to 35% nitrogen, 45 to 50% phosphorus and 20 to 25% potassium. That means fertilizer should contain high amount of phosphorus and obviously in a sufficient quantity. Fertilizer also should contain nitrogen and potassium but less than phosphorus. Now let me explain why should we use such type of fertilizer. Last year I did an experiment with 2 of my jasmine plant. One I lost and this is the another one. However, one plant I treated only with cow manure and leaf compost. So what happened? That plant developed lots of leaves and flower production rate was moderate. Plant was so healthy but flower production was less. On the other hand, I treated my another plant only by using phosphorus and potassium rich fertilizer like bone meal, triple superphosphate, muriate of potash, because these 2 elements actually increase the flower production. So what I observed, that plant produced tons of flowers but there was no leaf, just stems with flower buds, and after few weeks I noticed that that plant started to drop its flower bud. This happens because there was no leaves, so that plant cannot get adequate energy and food. So obviously you have to use these 3 elements at an adequate amount. Here 30% nitrogen will limit the leaves formation, 50% phosphorus will increase the flower bud production. Here phosphorus actually stimulates the bud formation by regulating flower forming hormones, so that you need to add high phosphorus along with the other elements. And 20% potassium that will keep the stems strong so that flower buds won't drop. Now many people think that potassium increases the flower and fruit production, but it is not. Potassium actually help in the plant healthy root growth and make the stems strong, so that plant can uptake nitrogen and phosphorus more rapidly, and also leaves can make food from sun frequently. Plant can store lots of energy and so that it can improve its flower and fruit production. Phosphorus actually helps in flower bud formation and fruit formation, so that you need to add high quantity of phosphorus than the other elements. Now here I am going to make a fertilizer which will maintain the phosphorus ratio. So now for making this fertilizer, first of all you need to add 2 tablespoons of banana peel compost, which contain both potassium and phosphorus. Then you need to add 1 teaspoon amount of muriate of potash, 1 teaspoon amount of urea, and 1 teaspoon amount of TSP or triple superphosphate, which is highly concentrated with phosphorus. And then you need to add 1 teaspoon amount of mustard cakes powder, which contain lots of micronutrients, and at last you need to add half teaspoon amount of fungicide powder. If you did not get these fertilizers, then you can use as alternative bone meal, banana peel, leaf compost, cow manure, but obviously keep in mind that the phosphorus ratio should be high than the others. This fertilizer I have prepared for 15 inches pot. If your pot is bigger than 15 inches, then increase the quantity, and if your pot is smaller than 15 inches, then decrease the quantity. Now here the flower production also depends on plant's maturity, like 1 year old plant produce more flowers than the newly purchased one. So guys, that's it. Tricks are so simple to do, so just do these 2 things and your jasmine will be full with flowers very soon. Thank you so much for watching this video and we'll see you in the next one.